cracking. Buenas noches. So, I want to talk about this mandatory thing I've been hearing about lately. Uh, First things first is Sundays when you go to breakfast, and if you're busted, it's probably one of the best times your best meals you're gonna get. It's gonna be some eggs, there's gonna be some potatoes, toast, and a bunch of little stuff that it's not the best, but it's better than what you normally get in the county or in the prison system. So this guy was talking about, and I don't know if he was talking about the county or he was talking about prison, but not all places are the same. You might land up in Supermax, you might land on the Wayside, you might be in downtown. And so he was saying that every Sunday it was mandatory that they had a spread, right? So they would give up their eggs. It was mandatory they had to give up their eggs, their sausage, their lunch meat, and their bread, right? And then they would participate in a spreading that was mandatory. I've never heard of a mandatory spread. I've never heard of mandatory giving up your food in county or in the system. The reason being is if you're in the county, a lot of times people don't have people to send them fatty and they got nothing. And that's the only food that they have. That might be in the state too, but especially when it comes to the county, because you're just coming off the streets. You're hungry, you're used to eating a certain way, and then by the time you hit the joint, you're already used to this rat-ass food that they got, right? So I've never in a million years ever heard about a mandatory spread with mandatory things. The other thing I heard about too was about signing up for the showers, mandatory workout. I could see that kind of happening, but as far as the showers, signing up, you have to do your workout before you get your showers. That's something that's kind of like backwards for me, because I know that's the one thing that was mandatory. Is you're going to jump in the shower. That's a must. I know nobody wants you stinky. If you didn't, you have to jump in the shower. You don't have to work out. At least back in my days, you didn't. So it's always, I guess it might just be people's interpretation of what they seen or what they had going on. You know what I mean? Now, one thing that, like kitties, you would get kitties, me, myself, I stopped participating in the kitties, and it was never mandatory. But I would have my own toothpaste, coffee, and deodorant and stuff to give out homies that didn't have, and I would just do it from the heart. There ain't no mandatory, so I would give out because once I got into the county for a while, or the joint, I got my hustle on. I knew how to hustle. I would get my hustle on, and I would put some stuff away for somebody that didn't have something that drove up, right? But now they're saying all this is mandatory, and I had trouble really believing it at some points. And if it is true, then people need to keep their ass out of the jail system. Because I know if I were to go in the system and they would tell me some of the stuff that I hear, I would probably get my ass in trouble. It's just because of the way I was brought up in the system. Now, I'm not saying calling anybody liars. I'm not saying it's untruth. But there's certain things that when you hit the system, I knew, like, if you're involved in violence, you're not going to a trusted dorm. And if you're not in a trusted dorm, your doors are locked all the time. There's no walking around and roaming around. Well, in the county, we used to take off and hide from the hooters, but that's when I was there. But Like if you were in Supermax, the cells are locked all the time. The dorms are locked all the time. We're not closing the door. You're not allowed to talk to the horas for a long period of time, or you get friendly with them. That's a no-no. There's if you have violence on your jacket, you're not gonna be a trustee. Now, if you're in like Supermax, a lot of times the hooters will be like, well, fucking, they want a homie that's been around, and they'll let him do his holly. But with that understanding that don't ask me nothing, I won't tell you nothing. They might let you off for an hour or whatever, so you can get your vending, and they have like vending machines, or at least back in the day they did. You can get a soda or some Twinkies or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But nowadays, from what I hear, it's all fucked up. Like, and I hear people talking about, oh yeah, we didn't lock our doors, and we tell the hoota this and that. My day, you tell a fucking hoota a motherfucking thing, that motherfucker will fuck you up. You know what I mean? And then it's gonna kick off between the homies and the hootas because homies ain't putting up with it. You know what I mean? Just like the fucking sheriffs ain't putting up with that shit. So I don't know. Things have changed. The point of the whole thing is don't go in there. You don't want to be putting up with all that bullshit and all that drama. Don't get busted, man. Since you get busted, you ain't got no say so. But if you're not busted, hey, homie, do your thing. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with going to work and make your money. There's nothing wrong with that shit. There's nothing wrong with living a decent life. People make it seem like you need to be involved in crime in order to be a real one. A real one, you know what? I would much rather have my kids think I'm a real one. Have a blessed day, you guys.